Yes, where was Phil in last week's Where is Phil? If you recognise the platform and the canopy, you'll realise that he was at Southport Station. So well done to Roslyn, Joel, Robert, Leon, Andrew, Luke and Martin. So where will Phil be this week? And actually, speaking of Martin, my good buddy from Ribble Steam Railway gives us a little tantalising update of a certain head code of the cab of a Class 47. Yes, welcome to this week's Rail Roundup. The last A2 Blue Peter train makes a fresh new appearance. Rail engineers gear for £135 million investment in British Railway this May. Claire and I venture out to Britain's most remote signal box to check out its recent TLC programme. North York Moors have a pair of 20s for the up-and-coming Diesel Gala. My good buddy of the rails, Blackpool Simon, is on the West Coast mainline giving us an update regards TPE and LNER changes. And of course, we're going to find out what you've been getting up to on and off the rails, whether your turn, and let's find out as well later on who has won photo of the show. Blue Peter. It's the last remaining London North Eastern Railway Class A2 Pacific that was one of the most powerful express locomotive train services in the UK, and she was one of 15 class that was designed by Arthur H. Peppercorn that entered service in 1948. Just weeks after the amalgamation of the big four railway companies into the newly National Railways of Britain. So as part of our special spotters this week, yes, there we go, I'm going to focus particularly on this train as a very special steam locomotive will hit the rails Thursday the 25th of July. So get your cameras ready, get your batteries charged, and don't forget to share your content of it all on the Your Railway community. According to Steam Dreams, it'll depart London Paddington, hauled by a vintage diesel locomotive, which will take an express route along the Thames Valley towards Somerset. At Taunton, it'll be joined by steam going onwards to Exeter via Brunel's Great Western Railway. And what will be after a wonderful break in the city, the return route will pass through the lush rolling countryside along the mostly single track of the west of England. A rural railway reminiscent of days gone by. At Bristol, a farewell to the steam locomotive will continue the journey diesel hauled back to London. Okay, yeah, so remember, get those batteries charged, get some content made, photographs, stories, videos. You can share them with us all here on the Rail Roundup. Just like you did when we had a very special Blue Midland Pullman coming to visit us here in Blackpool last week. And also as well, Martin Clark managed to capture a certain steam engine sneaking its way through Kirkham on the Fylde coast. A rare sight to be seen. Well done.
you down there.
Now, as you know, I have a huge primary love for our railways when it comes down to signal boxes or the track system or the engineering. And the signal boxes to me are probably one of the most important parts of our railways. Some of the boxes have been there much longer than our stations and our trains. They are the little hidden gems that keep our railways going, considering that some of these boxes go back over 100 years and they're still working today, even signalling the most modern bi-mode trains that we have available on the system is remarkable, showing the old working with the new. An accolade to, of course, our engineers and our infrastructure and the lads and lasses that keep our railways going. And one particular signal box that I've always wanted to tick off my, what do you call it, bucket list is Blea Moor. And Blea Moor is one of the country's most remote signal boxes that are still signalling and controlling the trains along that section just past Ribblehead Viaduct today. And I know they've been looking after that box, an important box, and giving it a little bit of TLC. So Claire and I decided to venture off past Ribblehead and find that particular box and see exactly what they've been getting up to. Just on the line to Carlisle belong the most magnificent Ribblehead Viaduct, is Britain's most remote signal box, providing a very essential service for mainline, freight and heritage rail services. Now this little small wooden building sits in the Pennine Hills on one of the country's most beautiful railway routes. From the box's little windows you'll see a striking view of Ingleborough Mountain, one of Yorkshire's three peaks. One of the three neighbouring boxes is this little signal box and its former structure that's been controlling the safe passage of trains through the area, signalling the way for more than 130 years. According to Network Rail, they have enforced the interlocking of the signals and points, which move sections of the track to allow the trains to move from one track to the other. They are generally modernising the signalling system for more reliable journeys so that you can increase the moving controls of the state-of-the-art rail operating centres, which cover a much larger area. But in some cases, keeping the historic signal boxes up and running is still the best option, just like Blea Moor. They've just given it a faster connection to the IT system, and back in March 2021 they connected Blea Moor to the next generation of fixed telecom network, bringing it in line with a faster, more resilient and reliable network connectivity. It was a fantastic day out, and I'm so glad I was able to share it with you and of course with Claire, and hopefully be able to get back out on the rails a little bit more to add these little special VTs in to bring you some news about what's happening on our railways. Now, if you want to go and visit Blea Moor railway station and see the most magnificent viaduct that we have to offer there in Yorkshire, what's the word? One of the most magnificent viaducts that we have to offer. I'll put the details in the description area down below so you can also take that journey as well. And while you're there, why don't you nip into one of the local pubs or cafes or the caves at Ingleborough and enjoy the day out to its max. Take some hot drinks for you as well, because it was nice when we left Blackpool, but when we got up there, typically with Ribblehead, it was just a little tad cooler and windier than what we expected. Now, do you fancy going to see a Diesel Gala from the 14th to the 16th of June this year? And it will see 2 extra Class 20s visiting the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. British Rail Class 20s, numbers 189 and 142, both courtesy of the Class 189 Limited, will be part of the special extensive timetable of locomotives at the North York Moors Railway, along with the Deltic 55009, courtesy of the Deltic Preservation Society, which will be painted and numbered in the guise of long scrapped Deltic 013, the Black Watch. Number 45108, courtesy of the East Lancashire Railway, and D9537, courtesy of the Ecclesbourne Valley Railway. As well as these 5 visiting locomotives, the North York Moors Railway home fleet of diesel workhorses will also be on the timetable, including 37264, D7628, and we've got Class 31 128. We've got a 47 00077 and a 31466. Together, the visiting home fleet will feature a jam-packed timetable including evening running. Many services will also be offering a selection of beers, ciders served from the on-board buffet bars. There will also be a selection of traders including rail rounders, Transport Pastimes, Yorkshire Wolds Railway and the DPP model railways. And if I've read, did I really read that right? Yes, Syllaba 31128, and you've got 31466. That is rare. Unless I've got it wrong, tell me in the comment section down below. 2 Class 31s, and you've got a 37 and a 47 as well. That is definitely one to get yourself to, because that's not something you see very often. There's not many 31s that are up and running on our heritage network, that's for sure. So look, regardless of the weather, regardless where you are in the country, go and Google and find out where your local heritage railway is. Standard gauge, doesn't matter what size the gauge it is, just go and visit your local heritage railway. Show your support, spend some money, and make sure we keep our history alive and well. Steam, diesel, whatever it is. Do you know, one day there'll be a heritage electric railway. You can imagine that, can't you? That's yet to come. But go to this one, North Yorkshire Moors Railway. Of course, with all the stories that I provide for you on the Rail Roundups, the links, relevant links, are always waiting for you down below. Right, there was another story which I did mention what was coming up, and I've not put this in the script, so I'm going to read this directly from the Network Rail media press release, and it's about over 800 projects that will be taking place in the late May bank holidays across our network, and it's a total of £135 million worth of investment that the Orange Army are going to go out there and make significant improvements, official TLC programs to keep our railways going. Now, unlike the Easter bank holidays, only one of these days will see significant disruption to the main line. London Terminal next month as part of the projects that will take form of a normal weekend of engineering taking place overnight when passenger trains aren't running. That's actually in May. So they go to say that this May's most notable projects are early May bank holiday, the 4th to the 6th, which is around the time this rail roundup's going out. So they've got work on the new station at Cambridge South, means disruption on routes around the city. Track renewals around Coventry will see no trains running between Birmingham Airport and Rugby Leamington Spa. On Sunday the 5th of May there will be no trains between Euston, Milton Keynes Central, and no services from England to Glasgow on the same day owing to improvement works on the West Coast main line at Crewe, Wigan and other locations. Track renewal around Liverpool on Sunday and Monday 5th to 6th of May. Then the Lake Bank holiday works, which is the 25th and 27th of May, will be a project to refurbish a junction at North London, means that services between London, Liverpool Street, Enfield Town, Chestnut will be affected on the 26th, 27th and 28th. Major work continues on buildings of the new station on the Great Eastern Main Line, a few miles east of Chelmsford, resulting in significant change to services on this route, including Colchester, Ipswich and Norwich. Major work around both Crewe, Carlisle to improve drainage, lay new track, and a new set of points will mean a reduced service on the West Coast Main Line over 3 days of the bank holiday. Track renewals between Carstairs and Lanark in Scotland, so Simon will know all about this, will also affect the West Coast Main Line services over Saturday the 25th and 26th. And of course, they're always banging on, aren't they, about making sure that you check before you travel. Now, I will put the link, relevant link to this in the comment section area down below. There's a lot of projects that are going on and there will be disruption, and they say that it's easier to do it at their particular times rather than road transport. It sort of doesn't work in the same sort of format, but yeah, it's all waiting for you in the description area down below. If you want to take some pictures of the upgrades and send me some news, by all means do so. You can contact me through the Nodrog Facebook page, or you can email me nodrog@post.com. A polite little shout out to my local railway projects that go on here. We obviously have Friends of Stations, but we have Friends of Squires Gate, Friends of St Anne's on Sea. They are sort of needing some new recruits, people that can just spare a little bit of time whenever you can, just to go on the platforms they've got there, just to make them look a bit pretty. This time of the year they're going to start planting the plants, painting the fences, the usual sort of tidying up and features and things that they're doing. Barry, love to you, buddy. You're an absolute superstar gem. Got in contact and just said, look, if you can do as a little plug for us, it'd be much appreciated. Of course, again, the link is in the description area down below. If you can go and reach out there and help them, by all means do so. Also, Paul Nettleton from Brefrewer, which is from Brefrewer. Again, I will put the link. It's the Blackpool and Fylde Rail Users Association, which incorporates the South Fylde line. They do like an update for us, like a little newsletter now and again about what's going on our neck of woods. It's always interesting, doesn't matter where you are in the country. It's a great little newsletter that he puts together, and I'm sorry I've not paid my membership. It's not much, it really isn't much. It's only a few quid. I hope I've got that right. Especially if you want to get yourself all ingressed in the potential of a loop or whatever else is going on here. They have an annual general meeting at Park Street Methodist Church at Lytham, Thursday the 30th of May at 7:45, which I'm going to try and get my backside into. I will pay my membership first, I promise you, Paul. Again, if you want to join that and get to know a little bit more about the rails here in Blackpool and the Fylde, then do so. The link is in the description area down below. Right, digressing, slowly going off. I think it's time to find out what our good buddy has got to tell us about TPE and LNER. And of course, without further ado, it's Blackpool Simon.
Hi folks, just a small update from me this time round, not so much in a way of more information regarding different things. Sorry, you join me on a training train at the moment. Actually, I'm just finished route learning between via from Glasgow Central. We come off at Uddingston. It's one of our diversions. We come off at Uddingston and run via Wishaw. And we come back at Law, which is just south of Motherwell, and then we sort of end up at Carstairs, where we sit for about an hour. Then we head back in. The drivers are currently learning this way, so I'm just hitching a ride while I learn it as well. So we're back on the main line where I already signed. I've already just gone through Wishaw. So we're back actually on the West Coast main line here. Pendolino's just gone past. And then we'll end up at Carstairs shortly. So a few things I've been hearing with regards to a few different sort of changes with regards to TP and LNER. I know LNER had plans to, or they'd applied to government to sort of boost their timetable a bit with regards to all the Azumers. This is something they wanted to do way back when, before COVID and all sort of stuff, because of the Azumers coming in and being able to run faster into London and all that. They were planning to up the timetable into Edinburgh, so we're going to try and have 3 trains an hour to Edinburgh rather than 2. Unfortunately, the government has actually declined that application for them, so unfortunately that isn't going to happen for LNER. So they've actually had to change their plans, so to speak. So I'm not entirely sure what. I believe that was going to happen in December this year. So obviously that's not going to happen now. So we'll have to wait and see with regards to what they're actually going to do. Part of that plan, I believe, was to actually axe the one service a day to Glasgow that they have. I don't know whether that's still the case. Whilst I've been out route learning, actually, I've seen a few empty LNER services coming into Glasgow and then running back out again. So I don't know whether they're route learning or whether they're going to keep the routes here. I don't know. Maybe that's something that a fellow colleague or someone that I used to work with at LNER could possibly expand on. If you want to contribute, give me a call and a shout, and we'd love to include you. That's something I've been branching out with as well. An ex-colleague of mine who works at Greater Anglia, and seeing if he would wish to contribute to the roundups with us. So watch this space. We'll see what happens with that. TP wise, not masses have changed for us. We're still going ahead with the sort of refurbishment plan for the interiors of the trains. We're going back to a moquette rather than the sort of the fabric here, because we're having a lot of problems with staining on the seats. That most of you probably have already noticed. They're very hard to clean, whereas the moquette was a lot easier to keep clean. So that is going to come into effect at some point. I do believe that's going to change. So going back to what happened with what's going on with LNER, with the refusal of their new timetable, that will affect us as well. Obviously, it has a knock-on effect with us running services. I do believe TP were looking at starting the whole Edinburgh to Liverpool trains again. I don't know if that's going to happen now, because again, what was happening with LNER will affect the different routes. I know there are a couple of applications of open access operators to run down into into various new locations. Again, I don't really know a lot about them because they're quite new and subject to application approval and all that sort of thing. I know we did have the open access operator who were going to run from Stirling into London via the West Coast main line. Was that Grand Union or whatever they were going to be called? That seems to have gone quiet again. I've heard also that cross country not only are going to be getting, obviously Gordon expanded on it a little bit last week. They're going to up their fleet again with the Avanti X Voyagers that they're going to be cascading out. I believe cross country have earmarked for a lot of them. Whether I know Grand Central have got one at the moment for sort of to bolster their fleet whilst they deal with the the unfortunate reliability problems that they have with the Class 180s. That's always been a thing with them. They've always been had an Achilles heel. So I don't know whether they'll eventually grab some more voyages. I know Avanti have got a few of them, but we'll see how that goes. Nice to see that the Avanti Class 805s and 807s are sort of more prominent now. Be nice to see that we're running up and down the route. I don't think they'll be coming up this end of the country. I believe they're only going to serve the central belt into Liverpool and possibly through to Blackpool North. So we'll see how that goes. So great to see you all again, guys, and it's great to be back doing this regularly. Again, I'll be posting. I probably won't be on every single week, but again, I'll be on whenever information and news comes available to me. So great to see you again, guys, and we'll see you out there. Ciao for now.
Thank you as always, Simon. Muchly, I use that word, don't know what it means, appreciated. Of course it is. Right, it's time to find out what you've been getting up to on and off the rails with your turn. Yes, where is Phil? If you know where Phil is, I think this could be an easy one for you. I've tried to make it as easy as possible. Even if you don't live in Lancashire, you should be able to work out where that station is. And if you know, then please put your answer in the comments section area down below, and that's where the consensus will lie. It's a great station. I've been there many times. Yes, well done for winning photo of the show, Mick. I have a soft spot for anything to do with the Irish Railways. I love the Irish Railways. I don't pay attention enough, and I wish I should be able to, I wish I could report on it a hell of a lot more. Maybe if you live in Ireland and you want to provide me with some details, like Martin does or Blackpool does, about what's going on with the old railways, then by all means please get in contact with me through the Nodrog Facebook page. Again, link in the description area down below, or you can email me, nodrog@post.com. Right, before we disappear, I think we're going to whiz ourselves to a local heritage railway called Ribble Steam Railway. Not Rebel, Steam Railway as I often call it. Big hello to Paolo, who's the manager, the general manager, the Portuguese controller of the railway there, which we're going to see soon next week, hopefully for a spooky for the Nodrog Paranormal Ghost TV, which I'm so looking forward. There's going to be quite a few of us there doing a big spooky there next week. I'm looking forward to. Anyway, digressing, Martin Clark has sent me a little update to tell us all about a particular cab 47 and a placement of its head code.
Hello. So, long time no see, Gordon. Sorry about that, mate. I've been busy with life in general, but I've got something to show you coming soon. Just walking past my colleagues in the cafe. They're all having a brew, skiving beggars. So, yeah, today's bit of video is about the 47 at Ribble Steam Railway. I'm sure you've probably seen it on your meanders around. You definitely captured it on your spooky recently, but I've done something to it. It's now got a head code. Check this out. Now, that is back to front. I appreciate that. Maybe you could be able to flick the whole video during editing, but yeah. Basically, the idea behind the 6E32 was that particular head code, so I was trying to get it in shot, there we go, was the outbound tankers, which Ribble Rail, our business side, use that specific head code for the empty outbound tankers that was going to Lindsay Oil Refinery at the time. It's now gone to Haverton in the northeast and is now under 6M for 3 going in to us, and then going out it's 6M44. But in them days, that was the correct head code. So yeah, hope this is informative for you. See you later. Ciao for now.
Yes, thank you, Martin. That was actually brilliant. Really enjoyed listening to that piece. You gave some great information in the background there, telling us all about the 47 and what the head codes mean. Again, if you've got anything you want to contribute, because this show is all about you and I, you can send it in on the Your Railway community, or you can contact me directly, Nodrog Facebook page. I've plugged that so many times tonight, and of course nodrog@post.com. You can get me through there. Also as well, if you want to help support the channel from as little as 99p a month, you can do through Patreon, or you can do it through YouTube membership. You just click the relevant links. No obligation, there's no contract. It's just a few pennies just to help keep this going, make it more viable for me to provide you with the content that I do. And that's it. That's the end of this week's show. We've done so well so far. I know it's a little late. It's been incredibly busy this week for me, but I really hope you've enjoyed the content. Big thank yous to you all for helping, whether it's behind the scenes or directly with the show. I can always mention your names, but you know who you are. It wouldn't happen without you. And that's the end of it all. I'm done. I'm dusted. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And don't forget to like. That's very important. And subscribe, which is even more important. And until next time, ta-ra. And thank you to Claire as well for letting me drag you across the North Yorkshire and the Pennines to go and see a beautiful structure and a little signal box. I enjoyed it. Really did enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right, okay. Shut up, Gordon. There we go.